Hi everyone, we're going to talk about shavasana today, which is corpse pose, the final relaxation pose when you go to a yoga class. And it's a pose that is really there to let the body absorb all the benefits of the practice, let it heal itself. And it's one of the most important yoga poses, really a pose where you can really enter a deep state of relaxation. And the only thing about it is it has to be completely comfortable. So I had a question from Kate who was saying she never really feels completely comfortable in shavasana. So let's see if we can sort this out, because obviously that's very, very important. If you feel like your back is aching or you don't feel quite right in this pose, you can't actually relax. So let's see what we can do about this. So what I've got is I've got my bolster, I've got an eye pillow, and I've got a hand towel, and then I've got 3 blankets. Now get as many blankets as you have, if possible, to make it really, really super comfortable. So the basic setup would be like this. So I've got my first blanket here on the ground, and this is quite a big one, quite a nice cushioned one here. And then I've got another blanket which is a little bit smaller. Ideally I would have the same blanket on top, but we'll just work with what we've got. So I'm putting this on top and just leaving a little bit of a gap here. So let's see if you can see that. So there's like this, I don't know what this is, like an inch or something, little gap. So basically we're going to sit here on the bottom and then we're going to lie back on there. So it's allowing for a little bit of a curve in the lower back. So I've got this, and then I'm going to take this one as my head support and I'm going to put it here. So I want this line here to be in touch with the shoulders when I lie down. So I'll show you what this looks like, and then we're going to adjust it even further depending on your scoliosis curve. So I'm sitting just here at the edge of the underneath blanket, the purple one, and I'm going to lie back over this, so allowing for the lumbar curve. Then I can adjust here the blanket up there. So I want it to be in line with the shoulders, and I'm resting my legs onto the bolster, just the backs of the knees onto the bolster, just shuffling around a bit. So this is, before we sort out the head even more, we're just going to see if this feels comfortable or not. So chances are that, especially if you have quite a severe curve, that on the hump side of your body, you will feel as if you're maybe rolling over to one side, or as if there's one side that is pressing into the ground more and the other one is just lifting off the floor. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the hand towel, where is it, and put it underneath the hump side, so the side where the curve is going to. So left lumbar curve. If you have the primary curve as a left lumbar curve, you would put it underneath the left here. If the primary curve is in the thoracic spine, so let's say right thoracic, I'm going to put it underneath the right upper right part. So this might feel strange to begin with, because it probably feels as if you have to, as if the gap is actually under the other side, but what we want is kind of to de-rotate the spine as well. So try it out. If this really doesn't feel right to you, try the other side. Or you might just want to fill the gaps. So if you find like there's really one part that is hanging off the ground and the derotation, which I suggested, doesn't work for you, or it just feels really weird, it doesn't feel right, then just use a hand towel and just stuff any gaps out with the hand towel, or maybe 1 or 2 or 3 hand towels. So make it comfortable. So for me, I've got a left lumbar curve. That is my primary curve. So I like to have a little bit of support here. My curve is quite low, so I'm going to put the hand towel under there, and then I'm going to sort out the head support. So what I like to do is I like to kind of fill in the gaps here underneath the curve at the back, at the neck, back of the neck. So I'm going to just stuff this up with some blanket, and then I'm going to make a little cushion for my head. So I'm folding the blankets under to have like a cradle, like a little nice nest for my head. And then I put on my eye pillow and relax. Sounds easy, doesn't it? Oh, obviously, it's not quite that easy. So we really have to make ourselves feel really comfortable. You could also cover yourself with another blanket, of course, to make it even more restful. And then to come out, you always come out slowly, bending your knees first, and then rolling over to the side. So make sure you roll over to the side, stay for a few breaths, and then slowly bringing yourself up into sitting. If you have problems getting up from the floor, have a chair nearby, so you can support yourself with that. And then I'm just going to show you one more variation of shavasana. If lying on your back feels really uncomfortable, I've got another lovely version which I probably practice, well, I definitely practice it at least twice a week, but if I had enough time, I would practice it every day because it's so delicious. And I use my Bolster for that. My best friend, the Bolster. And I've got my eye pillow nearby, I've got my hand towel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lie over this Bolster, just making sure I've got enough space. So just kind of the front of the hips are supported by the Bolster, and you decide how. If I come up too low, then my chin will come into the Bolster, so I have to bring it a little bit lower, further lower down than that. And then I have this blanket underneath my forehead. Now I've got a lot of tension in the upper back, which is why I have this usually quite high. And I might actually take a block, so you could also take a book, for example. Bring it underneath the forehead, then the blanket, and rest like this. This might be too high for you. It does feel comfortable for me, but for others it might be too high, and you don't actually need that much height. It depends on the curve in the upper back, so you might be happy being a little bit lower down like that. And then the hand towel would now go under the valley side of the curve. So just notice to begin with. So for me, in the thoracic spine, I've got a right thoracic, left lumbar curve. I always feel like there's compression here, and there's a little bit of pain on the kind of the mid back, and it just feels slightly compressed. So what I do is I put the hand towel underneath the rib cage on the left side. This is for the right thoracic curve. And then I could also put something here underneath the right side of the hips. Make it more comfortable like that. I love to put the eye pillow on the back of my neck and then relax and stay there. And when you come out, just slowly starting to move. Bring yourself into child's pose to begin with. So just turning your head to one side and then coming up when you're ready. So these are two variations of shavasana which you could practice. I would advise, if you are going to a general yoga class, tell your teacher about your scoliosis and make sure you bring as many props as possible, especially if you're not going to a yoga studio. They might not actually have so many props available. especially blankets. If you don't want to invest in a bolster, they're not that expensive. However, blankets, you probably have them at home anyway, so do take them along to your class to make it as comfortable as possible. Now, the time to stay in Shavasana, my teacher says 20 minutes is kind of the magic number. So from 15 minutes, that's when the body really is able to relax. So 20 minutes is ideal. So I've actually, if I don't have time for yoga, if I only have 20 minutes during the day, that's what I practice. I practice 20 minutes of Shavasana, of relaxation, and it really, really helps my back a lot. Obviously, if you only have 10 minutes, then do 10 minutes, but 20 minutes is better, as long as it's comfortable. If it's not comfortable, then it's just not quite right, and you might need more support and you might need more props. So I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. If you want to work with me on a one-to-one basis, then have a look at my website, yogaberry.net/yoga for scoliosis. So I offer some private sessions on there. And otherwise, keep in touch on the Facebook group, and I'll see you very soon.